about the history of cooperative learning. In one of the earliest books published about cooperative learning, titled Competition and Cooperation, Alport, Watson, Shaw, and Mead, social scientists, were credited for establishing the idea of cooperative learning when they found that group work is more effective and efficient than working alone. But the idea of, or concept about cooperative learning can be traced back to the first century under the name peer work. So the development of cooperative learning appeared many centuries after, in the 18th century, as schools were open to teach the students depending on peer learning groups. One of these schools is opened by Joseph Lancaster and Andrew Bell in England. This school later opened branches in different countries, which considered as a landmark for the group work learning, especially in the beginning of the 19th century in the United States. One of the figures that have great influence on group learning is Colonel Francis Parker. He was the superintendent of public schools in Massachusetts, and he advocated the use of group learning and could attract thousands of visitors to observe the use of group learning in the public schools. Another figure that contributed to the development of peer learning is John Dewey. I mentioned already John Dewey earlier, no, in the previous session, as cited in Johnson et al. 1981. John Dewey used a peer learning method in his project, which gained its reputation in the American schools, especially at the end of the 19th century. The idea of peer learning entered a new phase in the field of research as some researchers started to compare individualistic, competitive, and peer learning and their effect on the students. This effort is attributed to Turner in England and Triplett in the United States, which was followed by similar efforts in the 20th century in Germany by the scholar Mayer and in France by the scholar Ringelmann.